Xufia or Mindy Sullivan's Crossing Season 4 Secret Marriage and Sully's life-changing move. Okay, I need to ask you something. Have you ever been watching a show thinking, finally, fin and all, the drama is over, we can breathe, and then, out of nowhere, the writers slam you with a twist so absurd you literally have to pause, rewind, and ask yourself, did they really just do that? That's exactly where I was with the Sullivan's Crossing Season 3 finale. 1 second, Maggie and Cal are doing the whole sunset smiles, cozy small town, maybe we can finally live in peace thing, and the next second, bam, a random man walks in like he's in some soap opera crash landing, drops the words, "I'm Maggie's husband," and my jaw physically left my face. Wait, husband, secret husband. I mean, this isn't just twist, this is drop your popcorn, hit the floor, and question your life choices territory. But here's where it gets crazy. This wasn't just any man, nope. This was Liam. A name Maggie once brushed off as nothing more than a summer fling. But apparently, we now live in a world where summer flings turn into legal marriages behind closed doors, and nobody thought to mention it for, I don't know, 3 whole seasons. And you're telling me this is supposed to be romantic tension? No. This isn't tension. This is déjà vu wearing a cheap disguise. Because, brace yourselves, this isn't the first time Sullivan's Crossing has pulled the love triangle stunt. Remember Andrew? Yeah, I'm still recovering from that one. Here's my problem. Sullivan's Crossing sold itself to us as a warm, cozy drama. The kind of show you can curl up with, cup of tea in hand, maybe cry a little over Sully's heartfelt advice, maybe swoon a little over Cal's perfect jawline, but ultimately feel safe. Instead, the writers have spent 3 seasons playing romantic musical chairs, like it's the Bachelor Timberlake edition. First, it was Maggie and Andrew. Then Andrew was out, Cal was in. Then Cal wasn't sure Maggie could be happy without brain surgery in her life. Then Maggie reassured him, and for about 2 episodes, we thought the storm had passed. But no, they couldn't resist. Now we're back in triangle territory. Only this time, it's with a mystery husband. Not an ex. Not a high school sweetheart. A husband. You know what that means, right? It means that Season 4 might spend half its runtime trying to figure out which man Maggie really belongs with, instead of doing literally anything fresh. And I have a controversial opinion here. This is a bad move. Not because I don't love drama. You know I do. But because we've seen this exact dance before, and it didn't even look good the first time. If you've been around Breakdown Epic for a while, you know I'm not shy about calling out recycled writing. In fact, I'm gonna say something that might get me in trouble with hard fans. If Sullivan's Crossing Season 4 leans on this Liam, Maggie Cal triangle as its main plot, it risks losing the very magic that made people fall in love with it in the first place. And yes, I'm talking to you, CW Writer's Room. I see what you're doing. By the way, if you've been yelling at your screen through this rant going, why yes, Sophia, finally someone said it, then you, my friend, are exactly who I want sticking around. Seriously, hit that subscribe button right now so we can yell about TV together every single. Here's where it gets juicy. Because after digging into the Season 3 finale and the Season 4 renewal announcement from June 2025, I think this secret husband plot isn't just a lazy love triangle. I think it's a cover for something bigger, and the clues are hiding in plain sight. First, Sully's storyline in Season 3. Remember his trip to Ireland? That wasn't just a sweet, personal moment. That was symbolic. It showed the writers are willing to give space for quieter, emotional arcs that aren't tangled in romance. Second, Liam's timing. This guy doesn't just randomly show up the minute Maggie and Cal are stable. He walks in during the finale. That means he's designed to disrupt the reset button, to make sure peace never really arrives. Third, the language Maggie used about Liam in the past. Summer fling. Doesn't exactly scream deep emotional connection. So either she's lying to herself or there's something darker. My theory, Liam isn't just here to complicate Maggie's love life. He's here to force her hand in a decision that will affect the entire town. And no, I'm not talking about who should I date. I'm talking about the future of Sullivan's Crossing itself. But before we dive into that theory, I want to hear from you. Drop this in the comments. If you were in Cal's shoes, and your partner's secret husband walked into the room, would you fight for them, or would you walk away? I'm genuinely curious, because half of you are hopeless romantics and the other half are like me, allergic to recycled plotlines. And yes, I know some of you are screaming, Sophia, calm down, it's just TV, but listen, I live for TV drama. It's my sport, my Olympics, my caffeine source. In fact, this reminds me of when we broke down the Andrew arc in my Season 2 rant. Remember how I swore the show would never make that mistake again? Yeah, well, here we are. Alright, here's where things go from messy love triangle to wait, is this turning into a chess game? Because if you think Liam's sudden appearance is just about rekindled romance, you're underestimating him, and you're underestimating the show. Let's think about this logically. If Maggie and Liam are legally married, which is what his little finale mic drop implies, that means they've got unfinished business, and not just emotional business, legal business, property, medical decision-making rights, financial ties, even the right to say no to her leaving town. And here's the part nobody's talking about. Liam could actually have leverage over Sullivan's Crossing itself. Yes, the place. We've seen before how land businesses and community spaces in Timberlake can get tangled in personal disputes. What if Liam's sudden reappearance isn't about Maggie at all, but about inserting himself into the town's future? Think about it, Sully is stepping away. He's making a life-changing move, possibly even handing over parts of the crossing to the next generation. Maggie was the obvious heir to that legacy, but if she's married, that legacy could now be legally tangled up with Liam. You see where I'm going with this? The love triangle might just be a smokescreen for a bigger power shift in the town. And let's not forget, Sully's trip to Ireland wasn't just a vacation, it was a goodbye tour of sorts. A reflection on his past, his choices, his relationships. It felt like the writers preparing us for Sully to step back, and in that space someone, maybe Liam, could swoop in. So here's the real question, do you think Liam is here for Maggie, or for the crossing? Go ahead, pick your side in the comments. He loves her, Sophia, stop being so suspicious. Nah, he's playing the long game for control. I'll be tallying these up, and if Team B wins, well, I'll be insufferable about it in the next video. And I swear, if this all ends up being some goofy misunderstanding, I'm gonna need the CW to reimburse me for emotional damages. Because I've been here before. Remember my meltdown in the Andrew era? The crying laughing emoji count in those comments was a record. I can already hear some of you, but Sophia, love triangles sell. Sure. So do fast food burgers. But if you keep eating the same thing over and over, eventually you're not excited anymore. I'm not saying throw away the romance. I'm saying evolve it. Now there's one more little nugget I've been holding on to. I did some digging into filming schedules and behind the scenes interviews, and there's a reason we never saw Liam until now. He was never written as a background character or a name drop for fun. He was reserved, kept off the board, until the writers needed a wildcard, and wildcards don't just pop in for one season. If Liam is here now, it's because he's meant to disrupt Maggie's entire trajectory for at least a season and a half. That means whatever Sully's big move is, it's going to collide headfirst with this marriage bombshell. Imagine it, Sully's ready to hand Maggie the keys to the crossing, only to discover that handing them to her means handing them to Liam too. Now that is the kind of small-town drama that could tear Timberlake apart. Of course, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Liam's just a chill guy who likes fishing and bad plaid shirts, and season 4 will be 30 minutes of everyone baking pies together. Yeah, and maybe Andrew's coming back with a secret twin brother. So here's what I think is going to happen in Sullivan's Crossing season 4. The writers are going to make us believe it's about Maggie choosing between two men, but in reality, the real choice will be between love and the legacy of the crossing itself. And if she picks wrong, this cozy drama could turn into the messiest small-town civil war we've ever seen on TV. I'll be here for every second of it, breaking down every scene, every clue, every petty glare across the diner. So if you want to be the first to know when the next twist drops, stick with Breakdown Epic, because the Liam mystery has only just begun. Now tell me, in your most unfiltered, brutally honest way, should Maggie fight for Cal, give Liam a chance, or pack her bags and start over somewhere else? I'm reading all of them. And yes, I'm judging your answers.